Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping into business combinations and divestitures.
Right. Basically, why companies team up or, well, decide to split things off.
Exactly. We've looked through the sources you sent, covering these big corporate moves.
And the goal today is pretty straightforward, isn't it?
Yeah, just to boil it down, we want to give you the core understanding of these different deals and, why they actually matter in the big picture of business.
Absolutely. These aren't just headlines. They really shape industries, competition, even the products you use. Knowing the basics helps make sense of it all.
Okay, let's kick off with combinations companies joining forces. First type, horizontal.
Ah, yes, horizontal. Think direct competitors getting together. Same industry, same kinds of goods or services.
Like the Heinz and Kraft merger, right? Back in 2015, that was huge.
Huge is right. They predicted something like $28 billion in revenue and aimed for massive cost savings.
$1.5 billion, I think it was.
Yeah, that sounds about right. The idea is less competition, economies of scale.
Sharing expertise too, maybe.
Definitely. And minimizing overproduction. It's all about boosting efficiency and ultimately profits, becoming a bigger fish.
Makes sense. Okay, next up, vertical combinations. This is different.
Totally different. Here you've got companies at different steps in the production process linking up.
The Time Warner and Turner Broadcasting merger from '96 is a good example here.
Classic case. Time Warner got access to Turner's cable channels. That's like securing your distribution downstream.
Forward integration, they call that.
That's it. And you can also have backward integration, like securing your raw material suppliers.
Gives you more control over the whole chain. Though I remember the FTC sometimes raises an eyebrow at these.
They can, yeah. Concerns about too much market control sometimes surface.
Okay, what about circular combinations? The sources mentioned these sounded, well, a bit less obviously connected.
Right. The connections can seem pretty remote. Different business units, maybe sharing things like distribution or advertising, or even just top management.
Like the Pharma Inc. and Letson Watson example.
Mm-hmm.
Pharmaceuticals and senior living real estate.
Exactly. Seems odd, but the synergy might be in, say, reduced overhead through shared corporate functions, finding those hidden efficiencies.
Interesting. And the last combination type, diagonal.
Diagonal is about linking up with a support service provider, something ancillary but critical.
So like the Landbright Farms example, the organic livestock guys merging with Fresh Meats Inc., the transport company.
Precisely. Lambright needs reliable, specialized transport for its product. Merging ensures that support is locked in and effective, strengthens the core business.
Got it. So those are the main types of combinations, but how do they actually happen? Let's talk transactions. Mergers first.
Okay, so a merger usually means two or more companies combine, and often a whole new corporation is formed. Think Dell and EMC.
That was a monster deal, like
Oh.
$60 billion,
Yeah.
creating Dell Technologies.
Yeah, stocks are often exchanged, and you get this new combined entity.
And how's that different from an acquisition?
In an acquisition, one company essentially buys the other. No new company forms. The buyer just gets bigger.
Like AT&T buying Bell South again.
Yeah.
That was over $85 billion.
Exactly. Bell South effectively became part of AT&T. The acquirer remains.
Okay, simpler. What about tender offers?
That's a direct pitch to the shareholders. A company bypasses management and says, hey, we'll buy your stock for X price.
Like the Biltmore offering $13 for Alexander Co. stock when it was trading at $11.
Right. Shareholders then decide individually if they want to sell at that offered price.
And purchase of assets. Sounds straightforward.
It is. One company buys some, or maybe all, of another company's assets, buildings, equipment, patents, whatever.
Like Locks Industries buying Brightstar's buildings and gear, taking on the related debt.
Yep. The selling company might even dissolve afterwards if it sells everything significant.
Okay, that covers the joining forces part. Let's switch gears to divestitures when companies slim down or split off parts.
Right. Divestiture is just the partial or full disposal of a business unit. Could be for many reasons.
Like a sell-off.
A sell-off is probably the most straightforward. Just selling a subsidiary outright, often because it doesn't fit the parent company's strategy anymore or lacks synergy.
The Becue Industries example, selling Blended Ltd. To maybe boost its own stock price.
Could be. Get rid of an underperformer or something non-core.
Then there are spin-offs. That's creating a whole new company, isn't it?
Exactly. You take a division or subsidiary and you spin it off as a brand new independent public company. Often, existing shareholders get shares in the new entity.
Eli Lilly did that with Guidant, their medical devices division, right? to focus on cardiovascular stuff.
Perfect example. The idea is that the separated companies might be valued more highly by the market on their own than as part of the conglomerate, unlocking value.
In the last one, equity carve-outs.
A carve-out is a bit different. The parent company sells a minority stake, usually less than 20% of a subsidiary to the public through an IPO.
Like Tico Industries thinking about doing that.
Right. It generates cash for the parent company from the IPO, but crucially, the parent keeps control of the subsidiary because it still owns the majority stake.
So, quick recap. Combinations can be horizontal, vertical, circular, or diagonal.
And they happen through mergers, acquisitions, tender offers, or asset purchases.
And on the flip side, divestitures include sell-offs, spin-offs.
And equity carve-outs. Each one a strategic tool for reshaping a company.
It definitely gives you a framework for looking at those big business announcements.
So a final thought for you to consider. Next time you read about a major corporate deal, a merger, or a divestiture, think beyond the headline. What type of move is it using these categories? And what might be the deeper, maybe less obvious strategic drivers behind that decision? It adds another layer to understanding the business world around you.